In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make files accessible via cloud storage service. And in the course of this, we'll grant access via link. That means files are not published worldwide. They're only made accessible for persons who own that link. This procedure works fine regardless whether the viewer has a service account or not. However, the one who makes the file accessible needs to have an account at a cloud storage service. There are two more essential advantages of storing files in a cloud over storing files locally on your hard drive. First, you can manage your data from any place that gives you access to the internet. Second, a loss of data is almost impossible in contrast to your local hard drive, which has limited durability and is likely to crash one day. For applicants, cloud storage is especially useful as a resource for further references, which might be memory-consuming, such as high-resolution images, videos, or audio files. Popular storage services are Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, or Amazon Drive. There you get offered a few gigabytes of storage space, which should be more than enough for this purpose. As a user of Windows 8 or higher, you should already have a Microsoft account, including OneDrive. If not, you may register at login.live.com. This will grant you access to OneDrive as well as to other applications such as Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. If you have an Android operating system installed on your phone or your tablet, then you probably have a Google account, including GoogleDrive. If not, you may register at accounts.google.com in order to get access to Google Drive and other Office applications. In case you have subscribed to Amazon Prime, you are privileged to save any data to your private cloud drive. However, Amazon doesn't feature a complete set of Office applications, as we know from Microsoft or Google. Basically, it doesn't matter what service you prefer. All of them are a proper solution for sharing files, but to give an example, I'm going to explain the process by using Google Drive. Here we go. At first, I create a folder that will contain all the files. I right-click in the free space and select New Folder. Then I give it a name and confirm by clicking Create. To open the folder, just double-click on it. The next step is to upload the files, which can be done quite intuitively via drag and drop. That means we open the folder that contains our files and then we select them. You can either do this via left-clicking on a file, holding down the Shift key and left-clicking on a further file. Or you can add single files to a selection while holding down the Control key. Or you press Ctrl+A, which selects all the files at once, or you simply make a selection while holding down the left mouse key and moving the mouse. Finally, you drag the selected files into the window with the pressed left mouse key and just drop them by releasing it. If the upload is successful, it's checked green and the file appears in the back with a little thumbnail that helps you to identify it instantly. As an alternative, you may upload a file via right-clicking in the free space and choosing Upload Files. Upload options are often symbolized by an upwards arrow. Again, we select our files and confirm the dialog. This one takes a little longer. Okay, now we're ready for sharing. Yet, we don't give access for every single file, but for the folder that contains the files. So we just need to take one step for making all the files accessible, and to do this I'm moving backwards in the breadcrumb navigation above, and I right-click on the folder and choose Share. Basically, you can decide whether to share a file via mail or via link, which can be placed directly into your documents. Sharing via mail means that the address C receives a mail from Google that has a link included, which grants him access to the shared resource. However, I would not recommend that, since an automated email from a service might not be recognized as an applicant's email, but as spam instead. So you better share your files via link, and for this you click on Get Shareable Link. Now you can copy that link into a document or an email. I will go into that in a minute. Let's just have a look at the sharing options above. Here you can specify whether the receiver is allowed to edit or to view the file only. Of course, we don't want viewers to manipulate files, so you should always leave the setting at anyone with the link can view. A small icon indicates that a file or a folder is shared. If we go into the folder, we see that all the files are provided with that icon. To disable sharing, return to the folder, call the sharing options again, and select Off. And you can see the sharing icon disappearing. Of course, links are only appropriate for an online application and not for a printed one, so either you provide a link via email or via PDF. To insert a link into your document, you need to open it in a text editor like Word, OpenOffice or Google Docs. And almost every text editor offers the possibility to insert links. Usually that option can be found in a tab named Insert. So what I'm doing now is, I copy the link from the Google Drive dialog directly into my Word document. Right-click, copy, and I'm using the shortcut Ctrl+V to insert the link. After pressing the spacebar, the inserted text turns into a blue link. That works if there is an HTTP or www in front of the expression. Well, although this is a functional link, it's a bit confusing for the reader because it's quite long and there is no description about what is behind it. My advice is to use the insert dialog of Word instead. So I delete the link, go to Insert and Link. And the dialog shows two input boxes, one for the link to your online resource and one for giving it a name. I'm copying the shareable link into the input box. The link is still on the clipboard, so I can use Ctrl+V again. And I give it a custom title, Graphics External Link in brackets. And now you see that the link is self-describing and not as cryptic as before. I can test the link by left-clicking on it while holding down the Control key. Et voila, my shared folder opens up. Of course, you can do this with a PDF too. That's the preferred file format for online applications. And in Word Online, you can create a PDF in the Print menu under File and Print. Then you start the download. The PDF opens up in the browser. One more test. And it works like a charm. When using cloud services for self-marketing, you should keep in mind a few things. First of all, the protection of your personal data. If you provide application documents for download, then it should be anonymized. That means no home or email address, no phone number, no certificates, no signature. Because once the information is released into the web, you actually lose control of it and open the door to misuse. Even if you restrict access, you have no guarantee that a viewer doesn't make mischief. Second, the protection of someone else's personal data. For instance, this applies to a photographic depiction of a person, so if a workmate appears on a photo, you shouldn't upload it unless you have blurred him or her or you've asked for permission. Third, take care of copyright and licensing issues. If you copy files to the cloud, you should make sure not to violate the commercial interest of third parties, such as customers or co-authors. You're not allowed to copy any work results without permission of your employer, whether it's a software, a photography, a blueprint, or else. That has something to do with business secrets. Business secrets are protected by law, since a company has the legitimate interest to keep the know-how inside. So if your company prohibits any photography at premises, you gotta respect that. Okay, so much for sharing files for online job applications. If you want to know more about visual self-presentation for application purposes, check out my channel for further tutorials.